Alright guys, I wasn't expecting to be making this sort of video, but in a crazy turn of events, in the space of just over 24 hours it appears that Leicester have picked out Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers has decided to leave Celtic to join Leicester, and Neil Lennon has returned as Celtic manager. What a turn of events. Steve Clarke is probably crying his eyes out somewhere because he didn't get his dream job. Now, first of all, I think this is a great opportunity for Lennon. I think he was sacked unfairly at Hibs, and he's going to be back in as Celtic manager. Conveniently, his first match is going to be against Hearts, so he's going to be returning to Tynecastle. Last time he was at Tynecastle, man, he got a coin to the dome. So, I mean, who knows if that'll happen again? Hopefully not. And Rodgers has returned to the Premier League, where last time he was there, he was cost the title basically by Rangers manager Steven Gerrard. That slip undoubtedly cost Rodgers the league. So just to talk a little bit about Rodgers going back, and I've heard a lot it's about redemption. He has to prove this time. He's got a chip on his shoulder, something to prove. Does Rodgers really have anything to prove? In my opinion, he done very well in the Premier League. Overachieved with Swansea, no doubt about it. And he did really good with Liverpool. And this was before Liverpool, sold the money. Yes, they had Suarez, but if you look over the last couple of seasons, Liverpool have really spent quite a lot. Now, people will say they've only spent the money that they have received from players going out, which is partially true, but it still remains that Klopp has had a lot more funds to, win the league than Rodgers has. And as things stand, I think Rodgers has got closer to the league than Klopp because, I mean, Rodgers was only a few games away. He had a big points advantage with a few games remaining, and he blew it, and then Gerrard blew it. Whereas, I mean, I don't even think the title race this season is going to go down to the last day. I think City will go on and win it. But anyway, my point is, I don't think Rodgers has anything to prove. But I do think him going to Leicester, I think it's dangerous. I think Leicester, are still living in their title-winning season. They seem to have unrealistic expectations. And I was surprised that they sacked Puel, their manager. I thought he was doing a decent job. To me, Leicester are a team that they're like mid-table at best. It is what it is. They shouldn't be competing in the top half. I mean, they're nowhere near the top six, and they're not spending the money that the likes of Everton, West Ham, etc. are spending. So, Leicester can't expect to be in the top half of the table, but I think that's kind of where they want to be. So, I think Rodgers is going to Leicester I think he's got a lot of pressure on him, I do believe that, and I think I would not be surprised if Brendan Rodgers is fired within a couple of years. Now, that is my predictions. I hope I'm wrong. I just think that mid-table is about the best you're going to do with Leicester, unless they plan on, investing and spending some money. Then I don't see how you try and get into the top half and try and work towards a European place. I just don't see it. As for Rodgers, the way he left Celtic, I thought it was pretty pathetic. Like I said, this all happened within just the space of almost a day. Celtic, you could consider they're still in a title battle, albeit they're 8 points in front of Rangers. But I wouldn't say the league's over yet, especially because Celtic they've got a pretty tough fixture lineup coming up, especially with tonight's trip to Tynecastle. And I just think the way Rodgers has left them, I think it's pathetic. He did say Celtic was his dream job. And I don't know, Leicester have nothing to play for. Even Chris Sutton has been talking about this. He says, Celtic are still going for the treble. Now, what an amazing feat that would be for Celtic to get a treble under Rodgers. And now, it might still happen, but it's not going to be Rodgers who fully gets it. He's going to have done 2.5 of the treble, and it looks like it could be Lennon with the opportunity to do the other half. So I thought Rodgers would have, at least if he wanted to go, I'm surprised that he didn't do it in a better way. I think he's kind of left Celtic high and dry here. I thought he would have at least gave them till the end of the season. If not the end of the season, I think, I don't know, he didn't even come out and speak to the board and said that he would like, the option to speak to Leicester, that he would like to consider the Leicester job, he'd like to hear them out. It was just Leicester are interested in Rodgers, and the next minute he's gone. To me, he didn't show a lot of professionalism, and he's completely left Celtic high and dry, and I think it's a pretty shit thing that he's done. And I think it's partially undone all of his good work in the last couple of years, because he's just fucking, like I said, he's shat on Celtic. He really has. Now, I don't think it's a massive blow to Celtic, albeit yes, it's a blow, but I think Rodgers is probably a better manager than Neil Lennon. I think there's no doubt about that, but I don't think Neil Lennon's a bad manager, and I think Neil Lennon's probably more passionate. And if you compare Neil Lennon's results with Brendan Rodgers' results in Europe, then Neil Lennon certainly did better at Celtic. You remember Celtic actually beat Barcelona with Neil Lennon in charge. So, albeit yes, it probably does weaken Celtic. It's not ideal, the manager leaving, but I don't think it's going to be a disaster. You know, it's not going to be, Neil Lennon's not going to come in and he's not going to be as bad as like Ronnie Dyler. That's not going to be the case. I expect Neil Lennon to come in. Maybe might take him a couple of matches or whatever to, I don't know, get up and running, but I still expect Celtic to win the league. They'll probably still do the treble, and I think Neil Lennon will be the Celtic manager longer than Brendan Rodgers will be the Leicester manager longer. So let me know your thoughts, guys, down below. People are saying that it's better to be in the Premiership, a mid-table team, than it is to be winning titles with the top team in Scotland. In my opinion, Celtic are a bigger club than Leicester. I can see both sides of the arguments. I'm not gonna just, you know, deny that no, there's no way that Leicester's a better job than Celtic, because Premiership, it's where all the money is. It's considered one of the best leagues in the world, so I can see why he's moving. I mean, you look at even players when they get transferred for Scotland, the amount they go for is peanuts, but when a player's in the Premier League, you know, they're going for like, you know, 3, 4, 5 times that amount. So yes, there's probably better and bigger opportunities in the Premiership. I mean, Rodgers probably isn't going to, no matter how good he did at Celtic, unless he'd like done something amazing in Europe, he probably wasn't going to go from Celtic to like a top job in a top league. But whereas if he goes to Leicester and he does well, maybe after a few seasons, maybe one of the top teams in the Premiership will come looking for him. Maybe that's his thinking, guys. I don't know, but let me know your thoughts. I think Rodgers is, I think he's done the shit on Celtic. I think he's kind of left them in a bad state. He's left them in a bad way. It's very unprofessional. He showed no loyalty, and that's what I think, guys. Let me know what you think down below, and until next time, peace.